Hello, everybody. It's December the 20th, 2025, and I'm here in downtown Los Angeles, and I'd like to share with you some history and points of interest about this city.
Here we are at the 3rd Street Tunnel in downtown Los Angeles.
The 3rd Street Tunnel was built between 1899 and 1901. In January 1900, there were several cave-ins during construction. The first collapse killed 2 construction workers. A later incident that January trapped 13 construction workers. 10 were saved, but 3 lost their lives. This disaster spurred California's first mandatory workers' compensation laws. When this tunnel was completed in 1901, it was unpaved and unlit for a time, until complaints prompted the city to make these changes the following year. 3rd and Hill was the original location of Angel's Flight from 1901. The same year, the 3rd Street Tunnel was built. Rides were 1 cent. When Angel's Flight ceased operations in 1969 as part of the redevelopment of Bunker Hill, rides were 5 cents.
This is that same view today. Angel's Flight was at the southwest corner of Hill Street and 3rd Street.
Angel's Flight, at its new location, a half block south of its original location, began service in 1996, and rides were 25 cents. This increased in 2017 to $1, 50 cents with a tap card. And in June 2025, the one-way fare was raised to $1.50, 75 cents for tap card users. Angel's Flight currently has about 1,000 riders a day, but at its height in the 1920s, there were about 12,000 riders a day. Grand Central Market, across the street from Angel's Flight, has been in existence since 1917. The market is housed in the 6-story Homer Laughlin building, built in 1897, and a 1905 expansion of the building brought the first fireproofed, steel-reinforced structure in Los Angeles. Grand Central Market's grocery and food vendors occupy the ground floor and basement of the building, with mixed-use residential, business, and event space occupying floors 2 through 6. Grand Central Market is visited by about 5,500 patrons a day and is open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Pershing Square in downtown Los Angeles is located between 5th and 6th Streets and Olive and Hill Streets. It was originally named La Plaza Abaja when it was dedicated in 1866. The park went through several name changes through the years until on November the 15th, 1918, it was renamed Pershing Square in honor of General John J. Pershing for his leadership of the American Expeditionary Forces in World War I. General Pershing was promoted in rank in 1919 to General of the Armies of the United States, and Congress specified that this new grade ranked above all other grades of the Army, exceeding 5-star generals. General Ulysses S. Grant was also promoted to this rank posthumously in 2022, and George Washington was posthumously promoted to this rank in 1976 with our country's bicentennial. But George Washington's promotion also included a presidential order that he would forever be considered the most senior officer of the United States Army. Just west of Pershing Square is the Biltmore Hotel, built in 1923. When it was built, it was the largest hotel in the United States west of Chicago. Here is a photo of the hotel from 1929. It originally had 1,500 rooms. Today, it has 683 rooms, and the hotel has 5 ballrooms and several dining options. The hotel's interior features frescoes, murals, marble fountains, bronze stairways, and tapestries, and it is architecturally stunning. From the 1910s to the early 1940s, the commercial and entertainment center of Los Angeles was located on Broadway, particularly that part of Broadway between 3rd Street and 9th Street. Originally named Ford Street, it was renamed Broadway in 1890. This name change was inspired by Broadway in New York City. You'll notice the United Artists sign in the left foreground. This is the United Artists Theater, built in 1927 by the founders of United Artists, Douglas Fairbanks, Charlie Chaplin, and Mary Pickford. The interior is a breathtaking Spanish Gothic architectural style. Today, various concerts and events are staged here. The United Artists Theater is one of 12 historic movie palaces built between 1910 and 1931 on Broadway, in a 6-block stretch between 3rd and 9th Streets. From 1926 until 1936, Route 66 traversed from Chicago and ended at Broadway and 7th Street in downtown Los Angeles. But in 1936, it was decided by the American Association of State Highway Officials to change the terminus of Route 66 from downtown Los Angeles to Santa Monica, fulfilling the dream of a symbolic and scenic conclusion at the Pacific Ocean after a long journey from Chicago. There is a symbolic end of the trail Route 66 sign at the Santa Monica Pier, although the actual official endpoint of Route 66 is at the intersection of Lincoln and Olympic Boulevards, a few blocks away. This sign, seen today at the corner of 7th Street and Broadway, signifies that this was once where Route 66 ended. From about 1905 through the 1950s, Broadway was considered the center for shopping in all of Greater Los Angeles. The district contained more than 3,400,000 square feet of department store space. Department stores like Macy's, Bullock's, the May Company, Coulter's, and J.W. Robinson's were all located on Broadway. And nearby was I. Magnin, Orbox, and other retailers. But through the years, with the convenience of suburban malls, discount stores like Walmart and Target, as well as e-commerce, department stores in downtown Los Angeles all faded away. The last downtown department store to close its doors was Macy's in March of 2025. And office buildings on Broadway and the surrounding neighborhood lacked the extensive parking facilities needed for an automobile-centric city. And so tenants started to move away from the area to newer buildings to the northwest in downtown Los Angeles that offered greater parking space and a more modern environment. The original Pantry Cafe is a restaurant located in Los Angeles on the corner of 9th Street and Figueroa Street. The restaurant first opened at the intersection of 9th Street and Francisco Street in 1924, but moved 2 blocks to its present location in 1950 to make room for a freeway off-ramp. The Pantry, as it is known by locals, was owned by former Los Angeles Mayor Richard Riordan from 1981 until his passing in 2023. Then his trust owned the restaurant until it closed on March 2, 2025, due to labor disputes. But it is due to reopen on December 31st of 2025.
There's the Pantry in the northwest corner of Figueroa and 9th Street. There's the Pantry in the middle of the screen. And this is their prior location right here. They built an off-ramp to the freeway here, and the Pantry had to move.
We are here at 214 South Main Street. This is the former Cathedral of St. Vibiana, built in 1876. This was the official cathedral for the Diocese of Monterey, Los Angeles, until it was decommissioned after sustaining severe damage in the 1994 Northridge earthquake. The facility was outgrown by the region's rapidly expanding population, and the Archdiocese decided they did not want to renovate the cathedral, but wanted to build a much-needed larger facility. But preservationists fought to preserve the structure. An agreement was reached whereby the Archdiocese gave St. Vibiana to the city of Los Angeles in exchange for a new plot of land where the Archdiocese built a new, larger cathedral at 555 West Temple Street. The city of Los Angeles sold the old cathedral to a developer, and in 2006, the renovated St. Vibiana's reopened as Vibiana's and is an event venue.
You can see how close it is to downtown City Hall.
We're here at 535 North Main Street. This is the location of the installation of the first El Camino Real bell, placed here in 1906. This bell was the first of hundreds placed along the 700-mile route connecting California's 21 missions from San Diego to Sonoma. I made a video about this 4 years ago entitled The Bells of El Camino Real. 535 North Main Street is also the address of Our Lady, Queen of the Angels Catholic Church. The original church built at this location was built in 1822. This building is the rebuilt church dating to 1861, and here is a photo of the church taken sometime in the 1890s. And here is the church today. This was named Wine Street, but the City Council changed the name to Olvera Street in 1877. Olvera Street is the historic center of Los Angeles today and is about a half mile from the Los Angeles River. But the site of the settlement when Los Angeles was founded in 1781 is a short distance southeast of here, even closer to the river. That site was subject to flooding of the Los Angeles River in 1815, and again by an even larger flooding in 1825 that forced the river to permanently change its path, making the original settlement site swampy and prompting the move slightly northwest to its current location. The Avila Adobe is the oldest standing residence in Los Angeles, built in 1818 by Francisco Avila. The walls of this home are almost 3 feet thick and are built of adobe bricks. This photo was taken in 1956, and you can see 3 suspended bells that evoke a campanario. By the early 1920s, Olvera Street had fallen into neglect and disrepair, and was a crime-ridden, filthy slum. Olvera Street was a dirt alley back then, with buildings facing away from it. It was a service road, open to vehicular traffic. The Avila Adobe had also deteriorated to the point that in 1928 it was slated for demolition. But a woman named Christine Sterling wanted to revitalize and clean up the area. She wanted the historic heart of Los Angeles to reflect its cultural heritage. She worked tirelessly over several years to make it happen, and Olvera Street was transformed into a vibrant, colorful Mexican cultural center and marketplace, reopening on Easter Sunday, 1930, as a popular pedestrian-only tourist destination with crafts, vendors, restaurants, and authentic atmosphere. And her efforts saved the Avila Adobe from demolition. Christine Sterling lived in Chavez Ravine from 1938 to May the 9th, 1959, when the city began evicting residents to make way for Dodger Stadium. Sterling moved from Chavez Ravine into the Avila Adobe. She lived there until her passing in 1963 at the age of 82. This is a fascinating and complex story. The United States Hotel once stood on the southeast corner of Main Street and Spring Street. Spring Street was named Requena Street back then, and Requena Street became Market Street, then Spring Street. The United States Hotel's address was 170 North Main Street. This site was originally occupied by the first United States Hotel building that was built in 1861 and demolished in 1886 to make way for a new building of the same name, shown here. This building was torn down around 1939 to allow for the burgeoning Los Angeles Civic Center. There is a link in the description of a photograph that includes both the United States Hotel and the Amestoy Building, taken in the 1930s. These two buildings were across the street from each other. The Amestoy Building was built in 1887 and was razed in 1954. The Calvary Cemetery is located in East Los Angeles. It was established in 1896 and is located at 4201 Whittier Boulevard, about 5 miles southeast of downtown Los Angeles. Many notable people are laid to rest here. Actresses Irene Dunne, Dolores Costello, Ethel Barrymore, Mabel Normand, and Paula Negri. Actors John Barrymore, John Hodiak, and Roman Navarro. Jack Dragna is buried here, and Lino LaBianca, and Hal Roach Jr. But I'm here to see the resting place of someone whose name is not among the list of notables. This is the resting place of Mary Agnes Christina Griffith. She was referred to as Tina by her friends. If you'd like to find out more about her, I made a video entitled Stories from Around Los Feliz and Griffith Park. I learned a lot about Los Angeles in making this video, and I'm glad I could share it with you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.